presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are MC.
Royals baseball from Detroit, where the Royals and Tigers will decide a 3-game series after the Royals won last night 8-4. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. The Royals scored 2 runs on Friday night, so Ned Yost simply leads off Alcides Escobar last night, and the Royals score 8.
The magic formula's back, just in the nick of time. Hopefully it works today, because to take a series heading into the division-leading Cleveland Indians would be a super day, especially off of a super pitcher.
And the Royals have gotten 2 pretty good starts to begin the second half from Ian Kennedy and last night from Dandy Duffy, and now they pass the baton to Yordano Ventura. Kia puts us in the driver's seat, and that's right where Ventura has been in his career against the Tigers.
He's been a Tiger tamer, and I hope it's the same today. He's got extreme confidence against this team. He's got 3 above-average pitches. If he can execute his game, he should be able to hold the Tigers down, just get her done.
He'll be facing young right-hander Michael Fulmer, who is having the best stretch in Major League history for a rookie. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Along with his slider and fastball, that's exactly what he's become.
We'll see how he does against the Royals today, because last night the Royals knocked Mike Pelfrey, Tigers starter, out in the 2nd inning. Lumber early last night, scoring 4 of their 8 runs in the first inning.
Seems like whenever we show you the frenzy style hitting, what are the hitters doing outside of that one? They're going to the opposite field. They're able to utilize the whole entire field. Now, when you got pop like Salvi, you got to look for the cookie up and drive it out of the ballpark.
Tigers took game 1 on Friday 4-2. The Royals bounced back last night and won 8-4. The deciding game is coming up next. You by Chevy. Visit your local Kansas City area Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. By Panera Bread, food as it should be with 24 KC Metro locations. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. So the Royals are coming off 8 runs last night, 4 of those in the first inning. So why not lead off Alcides Escobar again?
That's the winning formula. It's worked, and now that's what they're looking for today. They've got to find a way to get this series. I don't care how they get it, but it won't be easy against this guy Fulmer. He's got an explosive stuff. He's really been hot so far early in his career.
Esky swings at the first pitch and hits a smash to Castellanos, who did a good job of blocking it, and throws out Escobar. So Michael Fulmer, who leads all major league rookies in wins, ERA, and opponent's batting average. Our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard takes us back to May 21st. This is his last 9 starts. That's the best ERA for any rookie in Major League history in 9 consecutive starts. 0.63 ERA.
Well, ever since he brought in that changeup to go along with his other 2 pitches. Wow, look at that.
Right on him.
2 pitches right on him. Nothing wrong with that. But he incorporated the changeup to go along with his fastball and slider. And those 2 pitches have been excellent. Great 2-seam movement with that fastball. It's an electric. You see Haas staying right down there with it. Tigers on defense. Saltalamacchia is getting a chance to play. Now, to get on base, it'd be nice if they could get that running game going against him, because he's had some issues this year with his throwing. Tigers overall minus 37 runs saved.
Strike to Kendrys Morales, who wasn't about to allow Fulmer to have a 3-pitch inning. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Fastball gets on you in a hurry. He'll go 92 to 96. Excellent slider. Good downward depth.
0-2. I said 1-1. No balls, 2 strikes.
He's not afraid to use that changeup against righties or lefties. Sometimes you throw that changeup at your right-handed pitcher to a right-handed batter, the ball moves in, and that's damage sometimes. Fulmer works quick.
Slider struck him out. 7 pitches, all strikes to set the tone. Yordano Ventura to the mound when we come back. Seven pitch all strike top of the first inning, and now he makes his 18th start, his 3rd against the Tigers this year. And it's interesting, Yordano Ventura, because of his suspension, because of that short start when he rolled his ankle in Philadelphia, and because of the All-Star break, he's made just 227 pitches in the last 29 days. So that'll be a fresh arm perhaps when the Royals need someone to dig deep in the latter parts of September.
You're exactly right. And Dave Island's worked with him to where his mechanics are back down. Now he has 69 strikeouts in 94 1/3 innings. Now that's not a high strikeout number for a guy with his kind of stuff, but it tells me he's pitching more to contact and he's not trying to blow guys away. That's a good thing for him. Use that defense. He's got the above average fastball, but the curve and change are exceptional pitches too. If he can get those commanded, he should be good today.
Makes a good pitch to Ian Kinsler. Kinsler is 4 out of 8 in the series with 2 home runs. He homered on Friday night. He homered again last night. Now he pops it up into the clouds. It's bright. So Escobar used the glove to shade his eyes, and there's 1 down.
Royals defense sponsored by Ford. The plus 28 defensive runs saved. That's second best in the American League. That's an excellent mark, and that's how we're grading defenses nowadays, by how many runs they saved, not the amount of errors. But you got Dyson, Paulo, Gordon, enough speed out there to handle that spacious outfield here at Comerica Park.
1 out to Cameron Maybin, and he takes a strike.
No Whitley Merrifield again. They had given him some time off. has cooled off some.
That is the first pitch in the game that's out of the strike zone. 1-1 on Maben. He's 2 out of 8 in the series. Fastball with some life, down and in, 1-2.
That's excellent movement there. It started out over the plate and then ended up off the plate with just the heater. That's tremendous movement. They call that hair. He's got some hair on it.
Breaking ball stayed up. So after a great pitch, Ventura leaves a curveball out over the plate. Maben's all over it and has a 1-out single.
Yep, starts out neck high. It's going to end up being belt high, and that's exactly where it was. He didn't miss it.
And now Miguel Cabrera, who has won 4 of the last 5 American League batting titles. He's going to have to pick it up in the second half to do that again. Maben runs, and it's grounded right to Colon, who is the cover man. So thanks to Maben running, that leads Christian Colon right to that shot up the middle. And Ventura faces just 3 in the bottom of the first.
There's a little bit of luck and a little magic against the Tigers. He'll take it.
Double play with Yordano Ventura on the mound. Michael Fulmer threw 7 pitches, all strikes to get the Royals. Now 8 strikes in a row. Now 2 of the outs were hard hit. Escobar with a sharp 1-hopper to third, and Hosmer lined out to short. Here's the slider, and it's 0-2.
Well, that's the advantage a hitter has against a guy like Fulmer that throws strikes. You're going to take your chances. You know he's coming in there, so why not be ready to hit him and hope you don't hit it at somebody.
That slider was out over the plate, and it's Kinsler running into foul territory, making that look a lot easier than it was. 1 out.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Yeah, Kinsler makes those plays look easy. He is an excellent baseball player on both sides, defensively and with the bat in his hand. He can hurt you.
He doesn't strike me as a flashy player, but when he makes that play in foul territory, he makes it waist high, the old basket catch. Is that easier when you're on the run like that?
It is, especially when you have the gift of hands, and he knows exactly where to hold that glove, and it makes it easier than, instead of turning your glove over trying to catch it. It's more difficult to get it in the pocket.
One strike on Alex. That's 12 consecutive strikes thrown by Michael Fulmer. That fastball arriving at 97 miles an hour. Chop to Cabrera. He'll feed Fulmer. 2 down.
Fulmer's tough, especially here at Comerica. He loves it. In 3 starts, he's 2-0 with a 1.04 ERA, and he's doing just what he's doing against the Royals now. He's attacking that strike zone with all 3 pitches. Coming right at you. Says he loves pitching in front of his home crowd, and what player doesn't? The Royals thrive off of it. They can't wait to get home. But before they get home, they want a W, and it might come with a home run ball. Someone's going to have to ambush Fulmer. And then hold the Royals bullpen to win.
Nice catch in the upper deck by a Tiger fan. 0-1 on Paulo Orlando. One for 4 with an RBI last night in the Royals' 8-4 victory. And there's the first pitch out of the strike zone. It takes 15 pitches for Michael Fulmer to throw one out of the strike zone.
Get the bullpen warm. Let's go. Get this guy out.
A bunt. And Fulmer's throw is not in time. Close. So the Tigers will probably check in with their replay coordinator, but Paulo Orlando drops one down with 2 outs.
What a great idea. Just get him off his rhythm, make him come off the mound, feel the position, get him breathing hard. That's a good single right there on the bunt. Last minute like that, that's great hand-eye coordination. Good touch. Paulo, he finished at first base just like a track star does at the wire. He leans forward. It appears he got there quicker to the umpire.
And here's Chesler Cuthbert. Chesler also drove in a run last night.
Like how he did it too. He feathered it to right, shortened up his swing. Not trying to do too much damage. Fulmer, though, you can try to get something in and try to pull him out of here.
Fastball's outside at 96. Chesler has hit in 6 straight games. Batting at .284. Having a very good month of July. Slider stayed up and in the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's the one you got to look for. That one that was up and it was less velocity. Look at his splits. Righties are tagging him as far as a home run ball goes, but no one's really hitting much average off this guy.
That's 6 home runs in 79 innings. And now 1 and 2 on Cuthbert. So they've hit some home runs off him, but that's a pretty impressive number.
He's good. And one of the reasons outside of his 3 pitches is his arm angle. He's got a tremendous angle that he's created, and it has some downward tilt. He's able to attack the lower part of the strike zone. He comes out of there violently.
That's line to right field, slicing away from Collins and all the way to the wall. Paulo Orlando going to be waved home, and the relay is offline. And with 2 outs and nobody on, Paulo Orlando, after a bunt single, comes home on the double from Chesler Cuthbert.
Just like we talked about Paulo getting the base hit last night to the opposite field. Wasn't trying to pull him on this particular pitch. That ball's up and away, short, quick hands to the ball. Collins had no chance. Didn't take the best angle on it, but that ball was hit too hard for him to try to run down. And good job by third base coach Mike Jerschele. You, against Fulmer, you may not get another chance to score a run. He took a chance, and it worked. Way to be aggressive, Jersch.
Up comes Christian Colon. He's after the first pitch. And that's going to be caught by Iglesias. So Fulmer threw 14 consecutive strikes. He retired the first 5, and then the Royals get a 2-out run.
Making his first at-bat pay off big time. This is exactly what you call going with the pitch. It's up and away, not much else you can do with that pitch, but that top hand stayed on top of it and let the velocity carry past Collins. And Paulo Orlando, the right man in the right spot with that kind of speed after that nice bunt base hit. They earned that off of Fulmer.
He's a pretty runner, isn't he?
Oh, smooth. He's a track star in his younger days.
Strike to Victor Martinez. The only more graceful runner I can think of as a Royal. Good changeup. 0-2 to Victor Martinez. Would be Carlos Beltran early in his career with the Royals when he would hit a triple. I mean, he looked like a gazelle going around the bases.
I remember playing against Willie Wilson in the Royals my little short time I had with the Orioles, and Willie Wilson hit a triple, and he was more of like a horse.
He's a big man.
He ran heavy and hard, and I'll never forget the dirt clods from his cleats about 20 feet in the air behind him. I mean, he had some kind of rooster tail as far as that dirt kicking it up.
2-2 on Victor Martinez. Yeah, Willie Wilson was a leadoff guy, fast guy, but he was built like somebody who could have hit third, fourth, or fifth.
Sure, and he was going to be a football player, so he had Kirk Gibson-like strides. Very similar runners. You could hear him coming.
Count goes from 0-2 to 3-2 on Victor Martinez. He had the game-winning hit on Friday night off of Joakim Soria's glove. Got him to chase one out of the strike zone, so Martinez helped out Yordano Ventura, and that's Yordano's first strikeout. Coming up a week from today, the first 20,000 fans through the gates can relive the moment the Royals clinched the World Series championship with a Wade Davis bobblehead. Visit Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS to purchase tickets. That'll be the Royals and the Rangers next Sunday.
Sweet.
One out to Nick Castellanos. Royals have held him in check for the most part in this series. He's 1 for 7.
Just 2 for 14 in his career against Ventura. Make sure you mix in those secondary pitches. He looks to ambush fastballs, stays inside the ball very well with his swing. He's got a little Chris Bryant in him, or I should say Chris Bryant has a little bit of Castellanos in him. Those guys, they really have an inside out swing, and they use the larger part of the field. They're going to hit for a higher average. And you know, with Bryant in Wrigleyville, and that swing, if he stays there his entire career, he could break home run records. That guy, he's a beast. Great swing. Staying inside the ball is the key. I wish I knew that when I was a player. I was dead pull. Wonder I was on the pine for 9.
Castellanos has already set a new career high in home runs. So he had more home runs before the All-Star break this year than he did in any other full season. You know, it's interesting reading about him, and of course everyone wants to know why he's hitting so well. One of the things he brought up is that he's watching less video and studying fewer analytics. Now, it doesn't mean he's not watching any video, not studying some of the numbers, but he decided to back off of that this year and just rely more on his natural instincts.
I commend him for that. Paralysis by analysis is more prevalent in today's game than it ever was before.
Hit well to left field, and that'll make it to the wall. Castellanos makes the turn. Alex makes the throw, and Castellanos is in with a double.
He's able to get out in front of an off-speed pitch. Pulls it down. Alex waiting perfectly. Nice throw, too. Look at that. That's a great opportunity to get his 5th outfield assist. If Castellanos not running out of the box, Alex guns him down.
So runner at second with 1 out to Justin Upton, who missed the first 2 games of this series. He was on the bereavement family emergency list. No word as to why. However, his brother Melvin, who plays for the Padres, also missed some time. And it's been a rough year for Justin Upton in his first year with Detroit after getting a big contract this past offseason. Hit hard right to Escobar. And Upton is out. 2 away. Especially in the category of strikeouts. Justin Upton set a Tigers record for most strikeouts before the All-Star break.
This is going to be the adjustment year for him to get adjusted to new pitching in the American League. He hasn't seen before. He's a power hitter with a big swing, so they expected that. But he'll get better as the year goes on, they hope, and going into next season.
And the season after that. And the season after that.
Hey, he got that contract, and it's going to take some time for him to get adjusted to the league.
Tyler Collins homered on Friday night late in the game to tie the game at 2. Hit it with 1 out in the 7th inning. The Tigers went on to score 2 more to win 4-2. He had just been called up from the minor leagues. He was called up when Upton went on the bereavement list, and now that Upton's back, Steven Moya has been sent back to the minor leagues. Colon charges, throws, and the inning is over. Ventura navigates around the 1 out Castellanos double, and at the end of 2, the Royals lead 1-0.
disabled list as he is in the sweatshirt just a few feet away from me. As for Kane, trying to get that hamstring right, as you see in our University of Kansas Hospital injury report, and still trying to see if he can get his way back. No setbacks, but still not ready, Ned Yost tells us.
He's at, somewhere between 75 and 80%, and, for a speed guy, it's still not quite right. So we're just hoping that, in the middle of next week or early next week, we might be able to get him out on a rehab. We'll just see how it goes, but we're just taking it day to day.
So there's the latest from Ned Yost, and the hope initially, or back when he injured that hamstring, was that it would just be the minimum 15 days on the disabled list. We're beyond that now. Not a lot of panic, but they also want to make sure, as Ned said with a speed guy, Ryan, that this hamstring is right. They don't want a setback once he gets back out there again.
Bud, Joel, that hamstring is a lion muscle. It'll tell you you're ready, and then next thing you know, you go out and you start baseball activities and it grabs you again. And the minute you feel it, that's when to back off again. They got to get that thing completely healed before they let him back out there.
Dyson takes a leadoff walk. The Royals were very patient last night against Mike Pelfrey, who first of all did not have a good start at all. And yet when the game was over, one of the things that Pelfrey pointed out is that against an aggressive team like the Royals, he was surprised that he couldn't get them to swing. His control wasn't there. He wasn't all over the place, but pitches that he's probably used to seeing the Royals swing at that are borderline, the Royals weren't swinging at last night.
Great offensive game plan.
Escobar puts down a bunt. He's going to try and get around Cabrera. And did he? Hello. Now, I don't know if they're going to say he tagged him or if he went out of the baseline. Home plate umpire DJ Rayburn made the call. And I believe he's going to say that Cabrera made contact with Escobar as he went up the line.
Yeah, just couldn't get Cabrera off the base enough to get a base hit on it, but he'll take his 8th sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, there's the contact. So sacrifice 3 unassisted. And now Eric Hosmer, who lined to short on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. And he'll take a slider over the outside for strike 1. Slide step, and it's up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Showed you the impressive numbers for Michael Fulmer. Best 9-game stretch in Major League history, specifically going back to 1913 when ERA became an official stat. He's had 9 consecutive starts allowing either 1 or 0 earned runs. And now Hosmer goes up the middle, and that streak is broken as the Royals get a 2nd earned run. It is 2-0 KC in the top of the 3rd inning.
Love it. Royals offense being aggressive on Fulmer. The Royals, they're a contact offense. We know that. Last night against Pelfrey, you mentioned, hey, look, they were selective at times, and so some pitchers are relying on the aggression of the Royals offense. But Fulmer today, he's not fooling anybody. Right down the middle. That's a pitch there that should have been hit hard, and it was. And he found a hole. He's going to add to that .298 average with runners in scoring position. Timely hit.
And now ball 1 to Morales. Here's another impressive statistic, which just a streak that came to an end for Fulmer. Opponents had been 0 for their last 24 with runners in scoring position. There's a base hit right field for Morales, and now Hosmer makes the turn. He goes into third base standing, and the Royals have runners at first and third with one out. So during that 9-start stretch, he did not allow one hit with a runner in scoring position. That's the longest stretch since Roger Clemens back in 2005 of any major league pitcher.
Well, he knew eventually that was going to end. He knows the game. He knows it's a failure game and you're going to eat your humble pie. But for this to happen early is a good thing for the Royals. You have to credit the Royals. Now, certainly those pitches, the last few that have been hit hard, have been up and elevated out over the plate. But the Royals are taking it to him and getting the hits at the right time.
So the Royals have ended the streak of 9 straight starts for Fulmer, allowing 1 or 0 earned runs. They have ended the streak of hitless at-bats against him with runners in scoring position. And Salvador Perez takes a changeup for a strike. And on the topic of streaks, when the Royals faced Fulmer back on June 17th, he had gone 33 in a third innings without allowing a run. Salvador Perez ended that with a home run. So the Royals have been Fulmer's streak busters.
That's right. And they're doing it because they're aggressive and they're staying to their game plan. Now Salvi wants to pick up the run here. With 2 strikes, you got to be a little bit protective, but look up and drive one. Get a sac fly.
That got Saltalamacchia on the leg.
Pulled the string and Salvi's head went with it. Wants to stay on the ball and just try to get that run home and keep the ball off the ground. 1 out. Salvi's had his share of double plays he's grounded into.
No swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bill Welke is the crew chief and first base umpire.
7 double plays he's grounded into, and he doesn't want that here.
Slider away, struck him out. Two down. Alex Gordon coming up. Royals head back to Kauffman Stadium after the game today and have a nice long homestand beginning with the Cleveland Indians. So the Royals can gain more ground right at Kauffman Stadium. The only other time the Indians have been to Kansas City this year, the Royals swept a 3-game series to get into a first-place tie with Cleveland. Outside to Alex Gordon. So Cleveland for 3, Texas for 3, and the Angels for 3. And the Royals have some payback in mind for the Angels. Remember, the Angels swept the Royals in Anaheim early this year. That's up and away. 2-0 on Alex. He grounded out to first in the 2nd inning.
Right man, right spot for those numbers. Alex changing his approach mentally, not much mechanically. He's thinking middle away and trying to go that way with the ball.
3-0.
They've been shocking him with some breaking balls down and in, and he told me that I'm a little bit anxious with 2 strikes. At times they drop that curveball and that breaking ball down and in on me, and I just react that way. But my mental approach is opposite field. That's going to help him keep that shoulder in.
3-1. Borderline pitch.
Looked off the plate to me.
Full count.
Took something off that. That was 90 mile an hour right down the middle.
Hosmer's at third. He has driven in Dyson in this inning. And Morales is at first. Miguel Cabrera plays behind Morales. He'll be running on this pitch. And there's that slider down and in. Got Alex to swing over it. So the Royals get another run. And they had a runner at third with less than 2 outs, but Fulmer strikes out Perez and Gordon.
Get him on, get him over, get him in. Nice formula.
Warm day in Detroit, Michigan. Going to get up near 90 this afternoon. And then the Royals head back to Kansas City for a 9-game homestand. And our 4th round of T-Shirt Tuesday is coming up in a couple of days with the Royals and the Cleveland Indians. The first 10,000 fans through the gates will receive a T-shirt featuring a Forever Royal pennant. To see all T-Shirt Tuesday designs and to get tickets, go to Royals.com/T-Shirt Tuesday. Jared Saltalamacchia takes outside for ball 1. He appears in this series for the first time today. Switch hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that right there is the longest last name in Major League history. 14 letters. Saltalamacchia. It looks like the Gateway Arch on the back of his jersey. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He goes by Salty.
Yep, can't blame him. He got off to one heck of a start his first year in this Tigers uniform here. He had 5 home runs. First month he was red hot, and he kind of cooled off some. But he's a veteran guy. Gotta have him.
Still 2-2.
His 5 homers were in the first 12 games of the season. So they were saying, wow, look what we have here. It's a pop.
Curveball struck him out. That's been the most improved pitch for Yordano Ventura this year, is curveball.
Has been. Now this one here has stayed up, but it's off the plate. It's a little bit tougher to hit that one. You have to reach out and get it. But his premium pitch, that curveball, is with 2 strikes, and it starts out belt high and ends up in the dirt. That's the one that he can get him to miss.
Inside to Iglesias. Just showed you that all the league can do with that curveball when they put it in play is hit 150. Iglesias chops it over Cuthbert and on into left field.
Earlier in the game, Cameron Maybin tried to steal. You could see Cuthbert playing him in because he's a good bunter. So the fact that he played him in got him that base hit. So maybe we'll see if Iglesias tries to steal. Maybe Maybin thought he could get that bag, and we'll see. But not many guys have had success off of Ventura in his career. He's extremely quick home to the plate, and he's got quick feet and a hard throw over to first base.
Our Toyota League leaders for today. Kinsler not happy with that call by plate umpire DJ Rayburn. But Yordano Ventura, and he has a ground ball double play already today, so that's 13 since he's been on the mound this year, and the next one he gets will tie his career high. Going back to your point about his strikeouts are down, but he's inducing more contact, and as a result pitching deeper into games.
And he's realizing that getting outs are more of a premium than showing up opponents with strikeouts.
It's actually 12 ground ball double plays, so one shy of the career high from 2 seasons ago. He got Miguel Cabrera to ground out 4-6-3 to end the first inning. Kinsler to the gap. Dyson cuts it off, and that forces Iglesias to stop at second base. Iglesias wanted to go first to third, but Dyson got to that ball before it could roll any deeper.
Short, quick, compact swing by Kinsler. Iglesias, he thought about it, but then you remember the scouting report on Dyson has 7 outfield assists and a good throwing arm. He stays. And with the meat of the order coming up, there's no need to try to push yourself into an unwarranted out.
Inside to Maybin. Maybin was down 1-2 in the first inning, and Ventura made a very rare bad pitch with his curveball, and Maybin singled to center field. Changeup hit on the ground to Cuthbert and by him and into left field. Iglesias will be held at third. It looked like third base coach Dave Clark for a moment was waving home Iglesias. And I don't know if it was Iglesias who stopped or Clark put up a late stop sign, but Iglesias would have been out if Alex Gordon made an average throw to the plate.
Yeah, Alex is one of the best throwers again, and Dave Clark, he knows, he's been in the league a long time, a third base coach. Maybin again getting another base hit with a runner in scoring position. Didn't score the runner, but he got that hit, snuck it through the infield. And one of the reasons that Clark held him is when you have Miguel Cabrera coming to the plate, you don't want to get any guys thrown out if you have to. Now Cabrera has grounded into 13 double plays this year. That would be an ideal for Ventura.
He is without a base hit all year with the bases loaded. Fouled away, and that includes Friday night. Cabrera came up with the bases loaded, and remember, Joaquin Soria fell behind 3-0 and then came back to strike him out.
Yeah, I thought that the momentum turned for Soria right there at that moment.
And it's 0-2.
And then it's just unfortunate that Soria couldn't reach down and pick up that ball. The Royals might have hung on and won that game.
Iglesias is at third, Kinsler's at second, Maybin's at first.
Look at the straight up infield. Stay out of the middle.
Changeup is fouled away.
Good spot. Don't want to give him anything too close here when you have pitches to expend on him. Now, he's not exactly a guy who swings wildly, but he really punishes mistakes that are out over, and especially with the bases full here. him hit it on the ground.
Nice save by Salvi. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's exactly where Salvi wanted it.
Changeup got him looking. And Cabrera can't believe it. I don't think he's mad at himself. I could be wrong, but I think he is mad at the home plate umpire.
Now DJ Rayburn, he's keeping a good close eye on him as he walks back to the dugout. Looking for any chirping, but that ball, man, that's right in his wheelhouse, especially to right field. Way too close to take with that many runners on base. Miguel knows better than that. Give him an early shower.
So just like the 7th inning on Friday, a strikeout against Cabrera with the bases loaded brings up Victor Martinez, and that was a swing. And the count is 0-1. And Giordano struck out Martinez back in the 2nd inning with a fastball. Another very productive hitter with the bases loaded over his career. They just called a balk on Ventura. He tried to speed up his motion to throw off Martinez. I don't know if he came set.
No, and you know that's the wrong time to use that. He doesn't need it. Just unfortunate, but DJ Rayburn, he was right on him. Let's see if he comes set.
I don't know.
I heard two umpires calling for balk. It looked like he didn't really come to a complete set, but there's no review.
I don't know about that.
It was close.
You know, even if you make the argument that it was borderline whether he came set or not, the whole purpose of coming set is for the benefit of the runners. So what? Jose Iglesias was going to steal home right there?
Nope.
I mean, you're not. Iglesias isn't going to go anywhere with Victor Martinez at the plate.
I think they called it because it appeared that he didn't stop, but maybe he was doing it for Victor Martinez.
And Martinez is down on strikes. So the balk is costly, although it could have been a lot worse with the bases loaded and Cabrera and Martinez at the plate. The Tigers get 1. announcers are wondering why that was called a balk on a borderline call. Now here was a play that was not a borderline call. Premier Mazda game break. That is a balk off.
Sorry, Dave Rigetti.
Bases loaded. And Santiago KCA, now he tried to follow through with his pitching motion, but he became disengaged with the rubber, and that's how the Padres beat the Giants last night.
Now that was a balk for sure. But you know, you're right about the that DJ Rayburn, that call there against Ventura. You know, he tried to speed up the delivery a little bit to deceive Martinez, the hitter, but like you said, that whole rule is designed around protecting the base runner, and when they're full, no one's going to try to steal home. I agree.
Kinsler comes up to throw out Paulo Orlando. Paulo had a bunt single with 2 outs in the second inning and scored on a double by Cuthbert, so he's 1 for 2. Here's our Sprint trivia question for today. Who holds the Royals rookie record for most quality starts? The minimum requirement for a quality start is 6 innings and no more than 3 earned runs. 1-1 on Cuthbert. He doubled to right field with 2 down in the second inning. Down in the count, doubled to right field and drove in Paulo Orlando from first base. That was for the Royals' first run, and then Hosmer drove in Dyson in the third. Tied him up, and the count is 1-2.
I'm just looking for some hints on the question.
Yeah, I mean, how many rookie pitchers have the Royals had since 1969?
Scads.
On the ground to Iglesias. 2 outs. Well, Ventura didn't argue much. I didn't notice the Royals dugout arguing much. Of course, you can't argue a balk. That's an automatic ejection. Some umpires will let a pitcher or a manager ask why it was a balk. But if the discussion goes much further than that, it's usually an automatic ejection.
Well, you not supposed to argue balls and strikes either. Cabrera did.
Fulmer has a 1-2-3 top of the 4th inning, getting Orlando, Cuthbert, and Colon. Cuthbert and Hosmer. The Tigers have a run on a bases-loaded balk with Victor Martinez at the plate. Our AT&T high-speed replay. That's weak.
At that angle there, he stopped. Yeah, I think it was a little chintzy myself after seeing a couple of the replays.
Castellanos, who doubled his first time, is out on one pitch as he rolls out to Cuthbert. So Ventura, without that balk, he was inches away from getting out of that third inning scoreless, and in doing so having to deal with Miguel Cabrera and Victor Martinez with the bases loaded. He struck out Cabrera on a borderline pitch. Cabrera was not happy with home plate umpire DJ Rayburn, and then after the balk, Ventura eventually struck out Victor Martinez.
Yeah, too bad.
Justin Upton grounded sharply to Escobar at shortstop in the second inning. And he grounds sharply to Escobar again, but this one gets over his glove. Upton takes a wide turn at first, and he'll hold with one out.
Ball was hit hard. Escobar just couldn't find a handle. He misjudged it. Took some tricky hops on him, and he couldn't stay in front of it. 11th error by the Gold Glover.
Changeup is inside to Collins. He rolled out to Colon at second base in the second inning. That's what Ventura wanted to do right there with Victor Martinez when he committed the balk. Just speed up his motion to throw off the timing of the hitter. Both he and Danny Duffy will use the slide step not to disrupt the runner, but use the slide step to throw off the timing of the hitter.
And when you do that too, it also cuts down the time to get the ball home, to throw out the runner if he does go.
3-1 on Collins.
See if he runs up to here.
He's going. Swung on and missed. The throw is high, and he's out. Greg Gibson did make the call right away. Upton is stunned. So you know the Tigers will take another look at it. And that's about as quick as we've seen a manager use a challenge.
Salvi missed with his throw. It was a little higher than normal. If he puts that ball down where he typically throws runners out, it wouldn't have been a contested play at all. Salvi's thrown out 51% of runners coming into this game.
Well, it appears that his foot got to the bag before the tag, but did his foot stay on the bag the whole time? Contact there. Tag there. And it's overturned. So it's a stolen base. And it's 3-2 on Collins with one out. And now Gibson goes over to chat with Justin Upton. shallow left field. And Alex makes a one-hand play. Collins is out number 2. Here's our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. And the Houston Astros signed Yulieski Gurriel to a 5-year contract. Hud, your thoughts?
Well, look, he must be good. And these guys that come from Cuba, they are ready, big league ready.
Saltalamacchia struck out on a curveball in the 3rd inning. Changeup fades outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. To this point, Ventura has pitched very well when the Tigers have had a runner in scoring position. Fastball by him. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ventura doing a nice job of keeping him away. Salvi's setting up in the middle, but that ball is right where he wants to put it, out away from him. Don't give him any chances to pull in a run here. Paulo's got a couple of outfield assists in right. Dyson 7 in center. Gordon 4 in left. All good arms.
Tigers are just 1 for 7 today with a runner in scoring position against Yordano Ventura. 2-1 Royals at the end of 4. Back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your Midwest Ford dealers, visit your MidwestFordDealers.com. Gerard Dyson leads off the 5th inning. Dyson led off the 3rd with a walk and scored the Royals' 2nd run on a base hit from Eric Hosmer.
Time to set it up.
You know, Fulmer, you're talking about Fulmer, and he has a bit of a violent delivery. You know who he reminds me of? It's a Kansas City area kid, Sean Markham. Kind of a herky jerky.
Okay.
Almost like a. He's got maybe a little longer arm swing than Markham does, but hitters would tell you that it wasn't just the pitches that Markham threw, but it was his delivery and his ability to hide the ball.
And you know, that has some deception.
Just like Markham, he doesn't have a really long stride. Kind of works off that stiff front leg.
He's very compact. He comes right down through the ball. And he's a strike thrower.
Sean Markham from Excelsior Springs had some big years with the Blue Jays. Iglesias to the middle, and Dyson is out. One away in the 5th inning. That'll bring up our Honda most trusted player, Alcides Escobar. Batting well over 300 in his last 23 games. Back in the leadoff spot. He was taken out of the leadoff spot and responded with a streak of 25 consecutive games reaching base, which was the longest of his career, and that ended in the final game before the break. So Ned Yost, with Whit Merrifield scuffling a bit, puts him back at the top of the order. He earned it. Heskey is grounded sharply to third, and he dropped down a sacrifice bunt. He was actually trying to bunt for a base hit in the 3rd inning, but with an out at first, he was granted a sacrifice, which got Dyson into scoring position. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Royals using 3 leadoff hitters this year: Escobar, Gordon, and Merrifield. He has options. Heskey in pull mode right here.
And pull mode is what got him out of the leadoff spot.
Right.
Pokes it out into right field. Collins moves up to make the play. 2 outs. Coming up on Monday, July 25th, we're going to celebrate Christmas in July, and you can add to your collection of festive attire with an exclusive ugly holiday sweater Royals t-shirt available with purchase of the theme ticket. Also bring a new unwrapped toy for a special Toys for Tots drive day of that game in the parking lot outside the ballpark. Again, that's July 25th. Michael Fulmer has set down the last 8 as he gets Hosmer on a ground ball to second base. Halfway home, the Royals lead 2-1. From the truck whatsoever. Our sprint trivia question: who holds the Royals rookie record for most quality starts? And the reason why we did not get a hint is because it was Yordano Ventura.
Yeah, we were thinking all the way back.
Escobar going to have to hurry, and he gets Iglesias. Iglesias singled and scored on the balk back in the third inning. One pitch, one away. That'll bring up Ian Kinsler. Ian Kinsler, Hall of Famer?
8 more years, yeah, if he can get in.
Why 8 more years?
Because he needs more numbers.
Our Kubota power stats. How about this? The only second baseman who have hit at least 200 home runs and 200 stolen bases. Who's the only non-Hall of Famer on that list?
Yeah, well, you know, he just needs a little bit more seasoning. If he can stay healthy, if he's blessed with health, you know, he has a good shot at it, but he's got to put in some more time.
It's pretty amazing that
it is
company he's in.
Oh, it's a wonderful company. This guy brings his lunch pail to the ballpark with him. He shows up every day, and it's the same guy you get. A guy who can beat you on both sides of the ball. Yeah, against the Royals, you know, he's homered in 4 of his last 5 games. He's a Royal nemesis.
What does he have on his lunch pail?
Well, he's got a couple of stickers, probably. A couple of stickers of his childhood. Maybe he ate sugar frosted flakes with a tiger on it. Brings that. Maybe that's on his pail.
Uh-oh. Escobar got a little too casual, and he's lucky that Colon was there. 2 down. Kinsler, by the way, will be 41 8 years from now.
Well,
he plays 8 more years.
You know, he maybe doesn't need all that, but you know, this guy who takes care of himself. I think he's got a chance.
So Ventura gets the first 2 on ground balls. And now Maben takes a strike. Maben single to center in the first inning, single to left in the third. You see, HUD, they still have that same deal. You can get a 1-hour full body massage for $39.95 at Massage Green Spa.
Right, and that was, we saw that last year.
But we were concerned with the asterisk. See, there's a catch. Remember, we didn't figure out what that catch was.
Right.
Just foul. 1 and 2 on Maben. Probably have to buy, you know, 10 of them
or something. Off-speed pitch, he's out in front of it and just hooked it right past the bag. Seeing a lot of early count swinging on both teams, and that's because of the pitchers have excellent secondary pitches. Good changeup, beauty.
And that leaves Miguel Cabrera in the on-deck circle. 6 strikeouts for Yordano Ventura in 5 innings. Beauty. has outpitched Michael Fulmer as the Royals come up in the top of the 6th inning. As we begin our Sundays with Denny. Did you think that was a balk?
Oh boy, marginal at best. I guess they say he didn't hesitate, but no, I didn't think it was.
I didn't think so either. I mean, and the whole idea of hesitating or coming set is for the benefit of the runner.
Right.
And you got the bases loaded with Victor Martinez coming at the plate. So as Morales grounds out to Cabrera. So I don't think Yordan Ventura was trying to deceive the base runners, right? They're not going anywhere.
No. Yeah, I agree. It was very marginal at best. I don't know. Cabrera was called out on a questionable pitch. Maybe they're looking for something. Just that was my thought.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't say it on the air, but I was thinking the exact same thing. You know, he called out Cabrera on a borderline call, and I wondered the same thing. Was that a makeup call?
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Otherwise, DJ Rayburn has had a good game behind the plate. I thought the call against Cabrera was a good one. HUD pointed out that was a changeup that was up. If Cabrera hits that out of the seats, we're going to say that's a mistake.
Because it hung up in the zone, pretty middle of the plate.
It's all Cabrera's fault. Really. You're going to be hacking there. Bases full.
Oh, my gosh. Their 3 and 4 hitters have been useless offensively so far to the Tigers in this series. They've really done nothing.
And when that happens, you have to win that series. Alex comes up with 2 down. Our contestant in our Sonic Slam inning is Nate Ruby from KCMO. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Nate wins $2,400. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Nate wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Inside to Alex. He is grounded to first and struck out.
I don't know about you guys. I'm starting to see little signs that maybe Alex is beginning to get his timing, a little better feel for things at the plate.
Thank you.
He'll be on with 2 down.
That'd have been an easy out right there, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Had Miguel just stayed home. But what are you seeing in Alex that tells you that?
Well, he's hit 3 or 4 balls right on the nose in the series. He looks more comfortable at the plate. And it takes time. He's not there. I'm not saying he's there. What I'm saying is I see signs that he's getting there.
I do too. And talking to him before the game, he says the mental approach to the opposite field's helping him a little. Still tricking him a little bit inside, he said, but at least he's trying to make improvements and adjustments.
I get back to former Royals hitting coach back in the 70s, Charlie Lau, all the time. And that was his theory. It's a left-handed batter, think left center, dead center. Just think of that when you see the pitch. Try to go to dead center, left center. Pretty soon you'll be out of the problem. You'll be pulling the ball.
That sounded like it hit the glove. That might be a pass ball getting Alex to second base. And that thinking, HUD, you're a longtime big league hitter. Going up the middle and the other way, it's not that the hitting coaches want the hitter to hit the ball that way, but it's if you have that swing path, correct? That corrects a lot of flaws in a swing.
It does. It's all about the thought process, and the natural reaction is going to allow you to turn on an inside pitch.
And the physical advantage of that mindset, you see the pitch a little bit longer.
Exactly. You're letting the ball travel a little bit deeper.
Right.
That's the whole thought process. But then the reaction part of it comes on that inside cookie you see. You're going to naturally turn on that. See if Apollo can continue his good hitting with runners in scoring position.
That was scored a wild pitch, by the way, that got Alex to second base.
But Alex can say thank you very much to Cabrera for giving him a hit there.
Tigers have had a lot more opportunities with runners in scoring position today, but Yordan Ventura has made some big pitches. with runners in scoring position. Three balls, two strikes. By the way, with the Royals going 1 for 4 today, opponents are 1 for their last 27 against Fulmer with a runner in scoring position.
He's good. Outfield playing Paulo to the opposite field. If he hits one in left center field, he could run for days.
Big hop out to Kinsler, and that'll do it for the Royals in the 6th. Gordon is stranded at second base. The Royals lead in Detroit 2-1. In the 6th inning. The Royals in Fox Sports Kansas City are offering a unique way for fans across the Midwest to enjoy a game at Kauffman Stadium. It's the Forever Royal Fan Express, and the next stop is Columbia and Jeff City on July 23rd. Go to Royals.com/Fan Express for more information. Ryan Lefevre, Denny Matthews, Rex Hudler, as Miguel Cabrera grounds one up the middle. And Alcides Escobar throws him out. And to Denny's point, last inning, Cabrera and Victor Martinez to this point have done very little. The only thing that Victor Martinez has done was hit one off of Joaquim Soria's glove on Friday night, which could have been an out. And then you could say that these two have done nothing in the series.
And if you go back a little further, Victor hit 3 home runs in one game against the Royals and KC. Aside from that, hardly anything.
He has struck out twice against Yordano Ventura before he struck out in the 3rd inning. The balk was called, which allowed Iglesias to score, and that's the Tigers' only run. The Royals stack the right side of the infield. Breaking ball for a strike. 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes. Victor Martinez, for all of his power, is difficult to strike out. And if Ventura can get him again today, it would be just the 3rd time all season he's had 3 strikeouts in one game. Remember that crazy streak he had? Was it 2 years ago? at bats without taking a called third strike.
Yeah,
he went like the whole season or something like that.
Well, he's an extreme hitter. He's one of the best switch hitters in our game today, but he looks uncomfortable. He's swinging at pitches out of the zone.
Colon could run that ball to first base if he wanted to. 2 down.
You want my favorite story about doing something all season?
Yes.
How about Tony Gwynn, great hitter for the San Diego Padres, told me, in fact, he told me when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he said,
same year you were.
Yeah. He said, I went through the entire year without breaking a bat.
Wow. That's going to roll very deep. Castellanos is going to make the turn. Nick Castellanos triples with 2 outs.
That was a real gamble.
But he hit it just right. Didn't hit it too hard to where the fielders could go to the exact point. It kind of just hit and just rolled right in between Paulo Orlando and Dyson. And there was a slight bobble by Paulo, but look, if you got any kind of wheels at all, you're going to get 3 bags on that. That's his 4th triple of the season.
This is a triples ballpark.
It is all the way. See how the ball just almost comes to a complete stop. Paulo missed it the first time around. But look, there's 2 outs, and Ventura hopefully can pick himself up right here.
He's pitched extremely well today with runners in scoring position. He's only given up 1 hit with a runner in scoring position, and that hit did not produce a run. Upton has essentially grounded to short twice. Escobar handled 1 ground ball and then committed an error on the next ground ball. Changeup, 1 ball, 1 strike. So just to finish your story, Tony Gwynn went an entire season with 1 bat.
Yes. Won the batting championship. Said, I love that bat. I took it home the off season, took it to spring training. Second day of spring training, just having BP, I broke it.
Oh,
said
batting
I cried.
practice.
I cried.
He needed to retire that at the end of the season, I bet.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do that.
The 2 runs that the Tigers have scored against Yordano Ventura today have been on a balk and a wild pitch. So now all of a sudden that gamble to go to third by Castellanos pays off. And remember, in Ventura's last start against Seattle, remember he gave up 2 runs on 1 pitch. Remember there was that wild pitch and then the error by Salvador Perez on the same play. So of the last 5 runs allowed by Yordano Ventura, only 1 has been so-called driven in. Three balls, 2 strikes. Out to Colon. So Castellanos with a 2-out triple pays off as he scores on the wild pitch to tie the game. a great deal on a new Ford, then it's time to go to Thoroughbred Ford. On a warm, windy day in Detroit.
And Ryan, the wind has picked up a little bit in the last 15 to 20 minutes. Straight in from center, as if center field isn't deep enough anyway. That's here. Right. 420. You know what it was in the old Tiger Stadium, dead center?
I want to say 440 or something like that.
Exactly 440.
All right. It was a fun place to play. And Denny, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say there was that big, huge metal flagpole in dead center field at the old ballpark in Tiger Stadium, in play, by the way.
That's what it looks like now. So that flagpole is still in play.
Yeah.
Ken Berry was from Topeka, Kansas. Great outfielder.
Still lives in Topeka.
When Ken Berry was with the Angels, he played a ball, or tried to, hit by Willie Horton. And Ken had a mental lapse. He forgot that big, old, huge metal foul pole in center field was in play, and all of a sudden he was in play, and he hit that flagpole and knocked him dizzy. Went flat on his back. Willie Horton chugged around for an inside the park home run.
Wow. That's dangerous anytime those foul poles are in play.
Willie Horton's statue, I think, is the only statue of a major leaguer in history that's not as strong as the person was.
That's right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now, this ballpark, they wanted to have the same thing. They wanted to have a deep center field, and they wanted the flagpole to be in play, which it was in the early years.
That's right. That's right.
Colon hits it out to Cabrera. He'll underhand to Fulmer. Colon is 0 for 3 so far today. So then in 2003, they brought those fences in left field and left center. So that flagpole, when this ballpark first opened up, first 3 seasons, that was in play.
I remember seeing a picture in the newspaper. Jim Pearsall was playing center field for the Indians, old Tiger Stadium. There was a pitching change, real hot day, and he decided he'd go around behind the flagpole, or the center field flagpole, sit down, get some shade, take a little rest, and he kind of dozed off, and the umpire had to come out and say, Jimmy, we're about ready to restart here. Pearsall said, little cat naps do wonders for you once in a while.
You and I got to broadcast the last game at Tiger Stadium together back in 1999.
Robert Fick
hit that grand slam late in the game, and I thought Tiger Stadium was going to come down on its own. Nice play by Upton, reaching over into the crowd. Denny, we'll see you on the airplane.
I'm glad I could join you boys briefly.
Thanks, Denny. Just watch out for those flagpoles
at all times.
Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Giordano Ventura, he's a Tiger tamer. Coming in undefeated against this team in his career. He's been solid today. Using that defense in the first inning was helpful. Pitches out of the zone, get him to swing out of the zone is also helpful. Pulling the string, using all 3 pitches, looking good. Hopefully he can hang in there right here. That call third against Miguel Cabrera was with the bases loaded. An excellent pitch. And both Tiger runs really were not via a hit. It was a balk and a wild pitch. Royals got to get this game.
Ventura's trying to go 7 innings in back-to-back starts. A week ago Friday, he did that against the Mariners. Parents, help your child win the opportunity of a lifetime by entering them into our Kids Run the Show contest. That's Sunday, September 4th. And your child could spend the afternoon assisting with select game day positions such as team photographer, K-Crew member, TV broadcaster, in-stadium host, and more. The deadline to apply is August 1st. So fill out your application now at royals.com/kidsruntheshow. Giordano Ventura has just 82 pitches in the first 6 innings. He'll get the lower third. Collins, Saltalamacchia, and Iglesias. Collins is grounded to second and flied out to left field. The last 4 runs that Ventura has allowed, going back to a start against Seattle, have been without a hit. There was that fluky play when 2 runs scored on 1 play, a wild pitch, and then Salvador Perez throwing to Ventura. The ball got away, and a 2nd run scored on the play, and then the balk and the wild pitch today. So when you look at his 2 lines, doesn't tell you exactly how good he's been in his last 2 starts.
Yeah, and the thing that's been impressive to Dave Island about Giordano Ventura this season is that he had severe walk issues early. His first 9 starts, he had 33 walks. That was, you just can't win games. That was 6 walks per 9 innings. And then he's been able to cut that back to just 7 walks total in his last 8 starts. 9, he didn't have one today either, has been a big difference for Giordano. Confidence, trusting his mechanics, repeating his mechanics, and utilizing all 3 pitches in the zone. Looked like he wanted that one.
Left center field, deep. Dyson is back, and he runs it down. And remember when Denny was with us an inning ago, he pointed out that that wind is picked up, now blowing in from center field. So that, combined with Dyson's speed, really helped out Ventura.
On contact, it looked like it could be extra bases. But you could tell how Dyson slowed down. And the hard part for the outfielders, when your head's bobbing and moving and you're running like that, so does that ball bounces. Good job of holding on.
That white flag below the American flag, which says PC on it, is for Paul Carey, who was a longtime voice of the Tigers, who passed away earlier this year. Paired with the Hall of Famer Ernie Harwell for what, Jeff, over 30 years, weren't they together?
Wow. Ernie Harwell, what a voice.
What a gentleman.
Yep.
1-2 on Saltalamacchia. He has struck out twice against Giordano Ventura. We had the unforgettable moment here when Ernie Harwell, who had terminal cancer, went on the field in the middle of the game. They stopped the game so that he could go out. He wanted to say goodbye, literally say goodbye to Tiger fans. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's the statue, and stood up there like a brick wall and just thanked the fans, told them it was his last trip, out to see them here at Comerica Park. They gave him a huge ovation, and it was just, man, I'll never forget that night. 3-2 on Saltalamacchia. Ernie had the southern drawl, and Paul Carey had a voice that when he talked, he would shake the foundation of the stadium.
Yes, I used to drive around the Midwest at times during the summer, and I would just go through the radio dial and just listen for Ernie's voice. And whenever I heard his voice, I just would stop and leave it, and I felt soothed. It's like, all right. And how about that? Speaking of walks, Giordano gives up his first.
And to a struggling hitter, Saltalamacchia, who had struck out twice. Vote for the Royals Player of the Month at one of the 7 Rally House locations in the KC metro area. All participants will be entered to win a majestic prize pack. Pitch number 97 is 97 miles an hour, so his pitch count is going up, but his velocity is not going down. Jose Iglesias singled in the 3rd inning, and then he scored on that bases loaded balk. He is also grounded out to short. Ground ball, base hit right field. Saltalamacchia will hold at second base. So with 1 out, a walk and a single to put 2 on for the top of the order.
Iglesias just trying to shoot that hole, obviously on an inside pitch. He wanted to do exactly what he did. Good level swing. Dave Island's going to come out, talk to him. Let's talk to him about the top of the order coming up, the most dangerous part of the Tigers lineup. This is a big inning for Ventura to try to escape through it.
And now Luke Hochevar is just beginning to warm up, and he's doing it in a hurry. And it brings up Ian Kinsler. 1 for 3 today. So far, Ventura's kept him in the ballpark. He is homered in 4 of his last 5 games against the Royals here in Detroit. Base hit left field. Saltalamacchia will be held at 3rd, and they're loaded up for Maben.
First pitch fastball. Tigers have been on it all day long. This time he finds a hole. That's what they're looking for. That they know what they're going to get a straight one in there. And able to find the hole here. Maben runs well. Will be tough to double. Giordano could use a strikeout.
Two for 5 this year with the bases loaded. And he's driven in 7.
Infield in double play depth.
I don't know if you can prove this or not, but the belief always was when you bring the infield in, you add 100 points to the hitter's average. And with Miguel Cabrera on deck, you do not want to add 100 points to Cameron Maben's batting average.
No, so you know they're taking the chance here that he's going to hit something hard right at somebody and leave Cabrera in the on-deck circle.
Chance for 2. And the Royals turn it.
There you go. A little ham and eggs, roll them over on a Sunday afternoon here in Comerica. Now get him some runs.
Ventura with the escape act. Pinera takes us around the league. Tampa doubling up Baltimore. Cleveland strikes first behind Mike Napoli. Texas 2-0 right now. Chicago and LA coming up later. Premier Mazda game break checks out the Tampa Bay Rays. Dylan Bundy, first career start, longtime prospect, and gives up 3 homers, including this one to Brad Miller, number 15 on the season. Here, Yordano Ventura back in the dugout. Michael Fulmer back up, and guys, Eric Hosmer on deck. You were talking a little bit about maybe who Fulmer reminded you of, Ryan. Hosmer said it reminded him of a right-handed Carlos Rodon, but maybe a little more polished, missing out of the zone when he wants to, and very composed for a young guy.
And that wicked slider, both have wicked sliders. Rondon and Fulmer, as Alcides Escobar lines out to left field. And here is Eric Hosmer, 1 for 3 today. He drove in the Royals' second run in the 3rd inning. The Royals had a 2-0 lead at that point, with the Tigers scoring 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 6th. And Fulmer, just like Yordano Ventura, very pitch efficient in addition to being effective today. He's pitching with 1 out in the 8th inning, and this is his 90th pitch.
Oh, he's done a super job. He's getting a lot of early count outs. Haas has swung at every first pitch until this at bat, and that, wouldn't you know, that pitch that he took, first pitch in this at bat, was right where he likes it, middle and up. He likes to go to left field with those pitches.
One and 2. In the dirt, and it hit the umpire. DJ Rayburn is down. So a bad break for him and for the Royals. Concern at the moment is for Rayburn.
Like he got it up under his mask.
Now that he's okay, we could say it's a bad break for the Royals, because if it doesn't hit DJ Rayburn, it probably goes to the, ooh man, came up under the mask and got him in the throat. And if it gets by him, Hosmer's at first base with 1 out.
Ooh, man. That's the one spot there's no protection. Now they have a little metal guard that comes down, but you know, you used to see they had a little extended shin guard, looked like it would come down.
A horseshoe.
Yeah, they stopped doing that.
It was Steve Yeager was the first one to wear that. Remember, I think he got a bat fragment that stuck right in his throat. Very dangerous, and he was the first one that I think they literally took an old horseshoe and drilled a hole in it, and it just hung from his mask.
Oh. Head athletic trainer Kevin Rand, longtime Tigers caretaker for the players.
Well, he's been telling Tigers trainer that he's fine for a while, but the umpire who's facing your screen there is the crew chief, Bill Welke. He wants to make sure. And Tiger trainer Kevin Rand wants to make sure. They just signaled behind home plate. I don't know if they were
their family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before the game I saw them all talking with their family. Their kids are down there, so look, you know, your children are in the stands and see their daddy go down. It's not good, so they made sure to point back to the family and let everybody know everybody's okay. Umpires have passed list as well as players.
Low to Kendrys Morales. Base hit into center field. That's a 2-hit game for Morales.
It's beautiful. Second consecutive changeup in the at-bat. He left it up. See Morales with that toe tap, loads up those hips with that flamingo leg kick there. Head position was still and perfect. Stayed up, and that ball was by Fulmer before he even put his glove up.
One of Fulmer's biggest outs today was against Salvador Perez. Left center field, down around the end of the bat. And Maben is there, and that's the inning. Michael Fulmer goes 8 and gives up 2 runs. Taking a ball off of his neck. He is from Michigan, by the way. That's why he has family here today. Garbage Time with Katie Nolan has been called epic, witty, and refreshing, and the future of sports TV. Don't miss an all-new episode of this Emmy-winning sensation Wednesday night at 10:30. That's on FS1. It is a 2-2 tie into the bottom of the 8th inning. In the second, Chesler Cuthbert with 2 outs. Doubled in Paulo Orlando. In the third, it was a base hit from Eric Hosmer driving in Gerard Dyson, who had walked, and the Royals had a 2-0 lead. And now the Tigers get a run on what was called a balk. That allowed Iglesias to come down from third, and then the Tigers tied it in the 6th inning on a wild pitch. So 2-2, and Kelvin Herrera will be a Chevy call to the bullpen. He'll come on to face Cabrera, Martinez, and Castellanos in the bottom of the 8th. Fouled back by Miguel Cabrera. 0 for 3 today. He was called out on strikes with the bases loaded by DJ Rayburn back in the 3rd inning, and he was none too happy about that. DJ Rayburn is from Grand Rapids, Michigan. One and one.
Herrera's fastball is exceptional. It'll top 98, 99 sometimes. Excellent changeup, 88 to 90. And that slider that he just threw Cabrera, there's an effective 3rd pitch for him.
2 balls and 1 strike. Cabrera came out of the box limping after jumping back from that breaking ball.
Like a little backup slider. Ball came in. Usually that slider goes away. Watch where this goes.
Plenty of room out there for Paulo Orlando. And Miguel Cabrera is 0 for 4. You can join the Royals and local business professionals for Business Day at the K. That's coming up on July 20th. The event will feature a pregame presentation by Royals General Manager Dayton Moore, as well as networking opportunities. Visit royals.com/business for more information and to purchase tickets for this unique event. One out to Victor Martinez. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Miguel Cabrera and Victor Martinez are a combined 0 for 7 today.
It's amazing when you can go through a series or even one game without those guys hurt. They have tremendous plate discipline. The bat stays in the zone a long time, and they usually do damage. But Ventura did an excellent job today. Like the starting pitching, how it's starting to compete against each other. Kennedy, Duffy, Ventura.
1 ball and 1 strike.
And it's on to Edison Volquez tomorrow evening against Corey Kluber and the Cleveland Indians.
Herrera has the advantage 1 and 2. Of the 7 at bats for Cabrera and Martinez today, only 1 has resulted in a ball leaving the infield. And that was just a fly ball to right by Cabrera for the first out of this inning. So you'd expect to win a series when you hold those 2 guys down. They are a combined 3 for 21 in the series. Still 1 and 2. Jammed him. Alex makes a play in left field. So the number 3, number 4 hitters in the Tigers lineup are a combined 0 for 8. And now Nick Castellanos comes to the plate. Remember, MLB.TV Premium is the #1 live streaming sports service. You can watch every out-of-market game live in HD at home, in the office, or on the go. Visit MLB.TV for details. Castellanos has had a good day. He doubled and tripled against Yordano Ventura. Breaking ball strike to Castellanos. With 2 outs and nobody on in the 6th inning, Castellanos tripled. And it may have been a bit of a risk with 2 outs in the inning, but that paid off because he scored on a wild pitch. And that tied the game as Herrera runs it up there at 99, and the count is 0 and 2. Still no balls, 2 strikes on Castellanos.
Don't make any mistakes. 0 and 2.
To the gap. Another extra base hit for Castellanos. He's into second base with his second double. And the go-ahead runs in scoring position with 2 down.
Slider right out over the middle of the plate. Didn't want to do it. He's lucky it stayed in the ballpark. A hanger. Now that slider to me is a pitch that he's been bringing in a lot this year, but he's been through the Tigers, and some of the other teams are starting to realize that pitch, and it's a hittable one. His changeup and his fastball are 2 pitches. It's really all he needs. But he's fallen in love with that slider, and I think he's going to have to be selective when he uses that. It's going to hurt him. He doesn't really need that pitch, especially 0-2 there. He's lucky it stayed in the yard.
And now Justin Upton. Slider for a strike. Three at bats, 2 hits. 1 hit is a home run. Yeah. 0-2.
Okay. Now
He puts it there. It's all right.
Right, it's there. It's okay, but he'll be looking now. I'm gonna say go high heater. See if we can get him to swing at it.
He did not get him to swing at it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still 1-2.
It's a good idea. And that change up and slider, you speed hitters' bats up when you throw those pitches out over the plate. Stay firm with him. You can beat him with a heater. And that's his best pitch. You're going to get it. If a guy's going to beat you, you want to be on your best pitch.
He's a big-time strikeout candidate. Upton has struck out 112 times. 3rd most in the American League. I remember when striking out 100 times in a season was a bad stat. And now we got guys striking out 100 times before the All-Star break.
That's amazing.
Breaking ball struck him out. So that's where he wanted to pitch Castellanos. And after the double, Herrera strikes out Upton. And we head to the 9th inning in the deciding game of the series. 2. Ram. Find your summer of fun with great deals at the Ram Summer Clearance Event. Kelvin Herrera has a scoreless bottom of the 8th inning. He's probably talking over that slider that he threw to Castellanos, which resulted in the double. Ended up being a harmless double. Phillips 66 shows us what's in the tank. And Wade Davis came back to the disabled list last night in a non-save situation. He faced 3 and retired 3.
I'd say he's got plenty in the tank. Hope they can get to him this afternoon. See if the Royals can find a way to get closer Francisco Rodriguez.
He is a Chevy call to the bullpen after Michael Fulmer was impressive again. He goes 8. Rodriguez saved game 1 on Friday night, giving up a single and striking out a batter in a scoreless ninth. Change up, 1 ball, 1 strike. He got Alex to ground out to short in that game on Friday.
And he's not your typical type closer where he's going to blow you away with fastballs. He's going to go 88 to 93 with his fastball. 2 straight changeups to Gordon there. He's got a big curve. But he's been extremely effective with his knowledge. In fact, he's been around. He hadn't allowed a run in his last 8 outings, striking out 7. He's going to pitch backwards. So if you're looking fastball in a certain count, you're not going to get it. He's going to try to fool you. A finesse closer, but it's not a save situation, but it's the 9th inning. You're going to use him.
Another changeup.
Yeah, you better not try to pull him. Just set that table up going to the opposite field and somehow find a way to get him and get Davis into this game. And go again with a change.
Castellanos was the only fielder on the left side, and Alex hit it right to him. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler with Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery, producer Brian Shapiro, director Steve Kurtenbach, and associate producers Sam Abramson and Dave Holtzman. Down and away to Paulo Orlando. He is 1 for 3 today. With 2 outs and nobody on in the 2nd inning, Paulo dropped down a bunt for a hit, and then Cuthbert doubled him home. Paulo's had a big year against the Tigers this season. Paulo didn't like it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Francisco doing a good job of keeping the ball to the middle of the plate. Got that call.
Which was the exact same pitch as the pitch before. One and 2.
It's going to finesse you. Have to really be patient and selective against Francisco Rodriguez.
Breaking ball stayed up. Center field deep. The wind is blowing in, and you got to hit it a mile to straightaway center field. 2 down.
He hit that ball as hard as you can hit it. Wrong part of the yard.
So it's Chester Cuthbert with 2 down. He drove in the Royals' first run today with a double back in the 2nd inning. Curve ball for strike 1.
Another thing that makes Francisco Rodriguez so effective too is the deception he has in his delivery. He has, a lot of moving parts coming at you. He's always used that, and then that big curveball comes right out of the sky.
One ball, one strike.
Check it out. See that leg kick comes way up around his neck. Then he throws his glove hand out and kicks the leg, and hard for hitters to pick up that release point.
Two and one on Chesler, who has hit in 7 straight after that second inning double. Two and two.
Change up underneath his bat.
And then got him with a fastball, so he really set him up off speed. Rodriguez has a scoreless top of the ninth. Collins, Saltalamacchia, and Iglesias coming up in the bottom of the ninth. We're tied at 2. Joakim Soria, who pitched on Friday and took the loss. Bases loaded, 1 out, and he struck out Miguel Cabrera. And then if he handles that ground ball, the Tigers get 1 run to tie. But on this play, the deflection, Whit Merrifield with the shift was out in shallow right field, and the Tigers get 2 runs on a Victor Martinez infield single.
And you got to credit Kinsler that was on second base that hustled all the way around and scored on that play, that infield play there. So Joakim has a chance here to shut him down. 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, change, and curve.
Good pitch to Collins to jump ahead. Collins is 0 for 3. And one of his outs was a fly out to deep center field. Running play by Dyson for that out. Pass Escobar and into left field. Tigers have the leadoff man on. Coming up after the game, Joel and Monty will have Boulevard Royals Live. Giordano Ventura goes 7 innings in back-to-back starts. He gives up 2 runs. 1 on a balk, the other on a wild pitch. And Michael Fulmer was outstanding as well. He gave up 2 runs in 8 innings. Tigers took game 1 4-2. The Royals won last night 8-4. Outside to Saltalamacchia.
Looked like a good spot. Salvi sitting up off the plate, but that hit the corner.
Tigers win the series. Since the beginning of 2014, the Royals have lost on a walk-off 14 times, and 7, half of those have been here in Detroit. So Jared Saltalamacchia, who had an awful time today against Giordano Ventura, turns in the Jeep drive of the game.
It was a no-doubter. Soria gave him one right down the middle. He didn't miss it. 9th homer.
So the Tigers win the series 2-1. Final score 4-2. We'll be right back.